But before I start, I just wanted to just pass on my condolences to the Clare family, the loss of Dr. Pat Clare, and just the 40 years of dedication. His sons, their continued dedication to the university. I believe our second academic All-American, and that was a heavy heart when we learned of that news this week. But a life well lived and a legacy well lived. And I want to say thank you to Dominic and Sue for coming back and, in his own quiet way, didn't want to give a big speech, just wanted to meet the fellows and answer questions. And, it's kind of funny. He said a couple things I say all the time, and I looked at Deshaun, and Deshaun said, "Yeah, Coach, and he says it just kind of hits different." I said, "Thanks, Deshaun." But and Dominic and his family, just so blessed that they were there. And then finally about the game, that was a close win. In many ways, it was a tough day. Credit to Rutgers, credit to Greg Schiano. They did a ton of things against us, but we didn't turn the ball over but once. We won the turnover battle. And I thought it was as great a defensive performance that I've been around. 6 plays inside the 2. Just whereas maybe 2 weeks ago in Illinois, we were kind of looking at the clock, worried, are we going to win? I thought this game, this day, the guys just wanted to keep going out there and playing. And they'd have kept playing another series if we let them. So proud of the guys, proud of the team win. And Boomshini, I thought, was an all-star again today. So with that, I'll answer your questions.
Coach, were you expecting that many big plays, impact plays from the defense as you saw, especially in the second half?
We knew it was going to be a challenge. We talked a lot about the run game, and we knew number 0 was quite a player. Now one of their wideouts, Strong, was down. And we knew Cali Bennis, how good of a player he is, because he beat us last year at Minnesota, the same type of game, right? 14-3, whatever it was. He makes the play down the stretch, taking 2 minutes. So it was almost like, what do they call Groundhog Day? It was almost Groundhog Day. He gets the ball back, he's going to go down there and score. But our defense practiced harder this week than they have probably in 2 years here, and I think that, what they put in came out when the game started. And it was a lot of different guys. We played a lot of different guys, really adverse situations, and really a lot of 3rd and 4th down stops, which was critical.
What did you guys adjust about your run defense? They had 70 rushing yards in the first quarter, and then I don't think they got the 78 for the game. So what did you guys do different?
Yeah, I think it was really kind of 2 things. I think they played the first quarter into the wind, so they really ran it a ton into the wind. The wind was really a factor. Like, people won't see that on TV, but that was really, really a factor. And then maybe not as much in the second half, but certainly in the first half. And then they had the wind in the second quarter, so they threw it a little bit more. And I thought if you go back to the first half, really a lot of those plays were just missed tackles. Gift comes off the edge, he's going to hit him in the backfield, just missed the tackle, right? They had one that starts right, comes all the way back, winds back, missed the tackle. So it wasn't like, oh, they've got us on this scheme. We're so grateful to have the iPads now, because you can kind of look at it and be like, it's not a scheme thing. We're just missing tackles. They had the 1 3rd and 22 after the sack, and they checked it down, and he made a guy miss and got it to 4th and 3. So I think it was more that, to be honest with you. And we started playing some man. We played some bigger guys. Like Tony's a 3-3-5 guy, but he was playing some 5 down with 2 jacks today. I was really proud of him. That was like him leaving the family almost, but he did what we needed to do. And we played some 3-man rush, some 3-2 stuff. So he had 3 different personnel groupings out there. And I thought we won 3rd down and won 4th down. That was my key for the defense today with this game. Was I said the defense had to win 3rd down. Rutgers gets into a lot of 3rd downs. If we won them, we'd get off the field. If they stayed on the field, they would wear us down, and that was what we were trying to avoid.
What did you see from Brian Boomshini today? Obviously, he went down with that injury. I mean, we were worried that he was out of the game. Then you call him for a fake punt and probably won the game with that last punt for you guys there.
Yeah, I mean, he was great. I mean, obviously he got hit hard, and we knew we were going to call that fake punt, and really almost called it the first time, and then almost called it at the 5-yard, the one at the 5 when they blocked it. They were bringing 10 guys, and there was no one covering them, and then finally we called it the 3rd time. But I just, Brian, what we thought was the unsung hero last week, and I'd say he's the unsung hero this week. And he did a great job on the last one. We were asking him the 1-step punt versus the all-out max block, and he saw them drop out, and so he slowed down. He took 3 steps, and he just boomed that kick. And we took the ball today. Wanting to have the wind in the 4th quarter and make them go into the wind in the 4th quarter. That's why we took the ball. And I thought that ball got up in the wind, and it spiraled and spiraled and spiraled around. I mean, had that young man tried to catch it, it might have, it would have been a tough catch, I'll just say that. So, I'm really proud of Brian. He showed kind of showed the heart of a lion out there.
Did he almost have to, I mean, it looked like he was hurt fairly bad after the first block. Did he? How close was he to? You were warming up Camden Cook. Like, how close was Brian to coming out?
Yeah, I got out there and he wasn't moving, so I was concerned, obviously. And he was like, I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be okay. It's just I forget it was my back hip. And got to the side and I said, hey, can you just throw the fake punt for me? And he was like, yes, I can throw the fake punt. And then we had Johnny Hall kick off. And, I said, well, can you throw it into the wind? And he was like, yeah, I can throw it in the wind. So he was just locked in. I think he's the guy who's burned the boats in his brain. He's going to do whatever it takes. And medically, he was fine. Just, I think he just took a big hit and was hurt, just felt it.
At the goal line stand, they had 6 cracks after that block punt. How impressive was that, and how important was that to the grand scheme of the game?
Yeah, I think the thing that our guys are learning is when you have some adversity, it's an opportunity for you to rise up and do something special. I think we're getting past the point of wanting things to be easy, hoping the other team doesn't play well, and just wanting to go out and play well ourselves. And so that's the message in this building. Hey, don't want it to be easy. Go out there and play. And I thought they took the field. They wanted to get out there. We took the PI, and they played hard. Tony had a little twist stunt. He ran twice, and Nash came around one. I forget. I don't want to not give credit to somebody, but they made big hits and kind of knocked it out of there, and then just defended the fourth down play. So just some really great stuff. And it was a tough day in the second half on offense, right, and really on third down. But we did come out and hit that ball to Jay Lloyd, which kind of opened the field up a little bit. And so then we were able to at least, kind of get out of there. And I might have the drives messed up, so you have to forgive me that things go fast for me in the game. But I thought the defense, they didn't really care what happened today. They were just going to keep playing.
What lessons do you think Dylan can take out of the day-to-day when they were coming after him and he had some moments he'd probably like back?
I think this is all part of the continuum of learning and growing. And then you go back and you just say to yourself, what was it? What bothered me? But at the end of the day, let's make sure, at least for me, I have to make sure, we weren't high flying today on offense. We weren't scoring. We scored 14 in the first half, which was good because they've had a lead in pretty much every game, right? The whole key against a team like this is you got to get the lead and make them not play. Had they been up 14-0, we would have seen 70 runs, right? And so we did get the lead, and so that's what we needed from the offense. But the key is that we didn't. We protected the ball. We had the one interception on the RPO, but after that, even as he's taking those sacks. He's at least protecting the football and we're punting the ball away. So, every week, last week it was the field goal, this week it was the punt, this week it was a couple sacks. There's a lot of things we have to improve upon in all areas. Kind of as we fix one thing, something else pops up. But, that was a day for the offense, as I said, to them just in there just now. They were having to draw new things up. Greg Schiano is one of the greatest defensive coaches that there is, and he had stuff out there that was really confusing. He had Mike linebackers playing D-line, and guys are trying to figure it out. So we'll get better from it.
With the offense, you had several, third down, fourth down, short yardage tries. Brought in extra linemen, leaving Tritt. Just what did you like about those looks and the way the guys executed?
Yeah, well, we know Micah's a big, powerful guy. He's been practicing with us, and so we were going to take some. We were here to win today. It was 4th and 1 on our own 30, whatever it was on the first drive. We ran power. We ran 4th and 1 on the goal line. We thought it'd be a good matchup for us. Him knocking the edge back. We really like Barrett Liebentritt. I think he's a guy that's getting better and better and better for us. Even the one backed up, we hit that run. I think the big, today was a day of we run the fake punt, and this is not negative. It's just we run the fake punt, and they just tackle us, and it's like, oh, geez, man, the returner got us. Or we hit that power, and the safety comes across and gets us late. Kind of needed to step out of one and make that a 21-0 game. But it was good to get Mike involved in the game, and this will be a tape that we can learn a lot from as we heal this week. It's been a tough ride here, right? So in terms of 6, not many teams in the Big Ten I don't think have done 6 straight games. Maybe a couple have. A lot have had a bye. So I'm glad we have a bye, and we'll see if we can get better.
You came in and mentioned that Kaliak Manis had you guys in this spot a year ago and went down and won the game. Was that in any way on your mind when you were out there, or was it just something that came in when you stepped up to the podium?
No. At the end of the day, we knew that as I try to orchestrate how the game could go, I always talk about how I want it to go, and then, hey, the things that could happen. And one of the things for me was hey, if it turns into a throw game, how are we going to play it, right? And they've shown excellent protection. They double chip both edges and they try to protect. And we played a lot of man early, and then late in the game, as we had the lead, we went to a little bit more zone after they hit those 2 deep balls in the third to last drive. But no, when I'm out there, I'm just my mind's just thinking, right? I'm thinking, but I just know he's a good player, and so when you played against someone, you see what they can do. But I was, happy that the field worked out where they were throwing into the wind. And I thought, our pass rush really showed up.
It was warm there early on. This is the first season you guys have switched sidelines. Did you feel the advantage of being in the shade for the first half?
Yeah, well, I think if I'd have sat on the other side, I might have felt worse, I don't know that I noticed, other than it never felt super hot to me. I think I was more taken with the wind. I don't know if I've ever been a part of a day that's 95 and that windy, especially early on, and then gusting, and so even in pregame, the balls were kind of flying around a little bit. You remember now, I think they missed a field goal earlier, correct, right? Am I right on that? Right, so just thought the wind would be a big deal today. It was unique in that the wind came out of the south. It was going south to north in pregame, and then when we came out for the kick, it was going north to south. And Dr. Elza does a great job. She talks, and they told us it was going to flip as the day went on, and so they actually gave us the win for the first quarter, and so I thought we did a good job early on in the game. But it was just a lot of different factors out there, but it wasn't too hot for us. And again, we played a lot of guys knowing that we wanted to be fresh in the fourth.
Matt, what kind of value is it to win one-score game? I know last week was a very close game, but this is a one-score game to prove to your guys that they can do this.
Yeah, I don't even think, respectfully, I don't even think it's even like, hey, you can do this. I think it's more like, how do you do this? And how do you do it is you don't start looking at the scoreboard and the clock hoping that it runs down. You play. Just go play. And so even at the end, they got that first down on fourth down, and you didn't see our group look dejected. You didn't see them. The defense just lined back up and played again. And Buschini you need some guys to make some plays, right? Buschini makes that punt. That punt's amazing in that condition. So I think it's just the how. The how is getting to those moments and having your heart rate not rise up, just continuing to play, and just trying to make one more play than they make.
Are you surprised they didn't go after that last punt of yours? And they just let him punt?
I don't know. Yeah, I think the thought was, hey, we're one-stepping it. Hey, let's go ahead and get it. Let's get it out and then return it. But I'm glad they didn't. I didn't know. That was my concern, was them blocking it. Again, and it's all a simple thing. It's some veteran guys. A guy. They're bringing one more than we can block, right? And so they're not covering anybody. They're coming after you. And so if I could go back, man, I'd have called that punt fake earlier. Because it would have. You sit there. You're sitting there all week. And you're saying to yourself, man, I bet you they change. I bet you they're not going to do it this week. I bet you they change. And so when you get out there and see it, you're like, oh, okay. And then I should have done it on the 5-yard line. So, but I think doing it, even though no points came out of it, I thought the guys on the sideline were energized. Like, hey, coach is with us. Coach Foley's with us. Ed designed it. When I say I called it, Ed wants to call it every time. It's just me being like, all right, as the game manager, okay, let's do it, Ed. So it was a big time call, and it worked out. It flipped the field, and maybe that slowed them down later on in that last drive.
What kind of boost did James Williams give you?
I'm sorry.
James Williams, what kind of boost did he give you? He's making plays. Talk about guys making plays. There's
Yeah,
right there.
I think James is a guy that's practicing. He's trying to get better. He's doing really well in school. He's growing in every facet of his life. I'm very proud of him, and he practices really hard, and as a result, he plays really hard. This was a week that we did a lot of stuff with big people. So there was reps this week where him and Kai and those guys were going over the scout team and giving the offense a look. No agenda, no egos, just trying to get better at their craft. And then, again, because we took the ball early and because we were able to get a little bit of a lead, now you're able to pass rush at the end of the game, and it kind of changed everything. Anybody else? All right, thanks, guys.